Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to make a quick little video about what I think, what my predictions are for E3, which as I'm recording this is Sunday. E3 technically starts on like Tuesday or something like that, but Nintendo's Direct is not till Tuesday, so actually I guess E3 probably starts on Monday. Anyways, the point is, very little time left, so what even is the point of putting this video out? Well, the point is I wanted to, so that's why I'm doing it, is just for the heck of it. Not for any algorithm stuff or whatever, because this video is going to be overlooked, because it's going to be outdated in a matter of hours. But basically, it's because on Twitter, I saw something and I was like, something clicked in my brain, and I was like, why is nobody talking about this? Oh, I can do that. That used to be what I did, so I should do that. So here I am talking about it. And what it basically is there's a poster that is supposed to be coming out next week, or this week? Next week? I don't know. The poster's coming out at some point, and it's Zelda specific, and it has specific images on it from only 3 specific games, or 4 specific games. And that's pretty interesting that this poster is going to be given out by GameStop to people who are buying Zelda related things. We don't know exactly what specifically, but probably a game, right? And this poster clearly is telling a story. And what this story is here's the stuff that's going to be announced at E3. Or here, really the story is, here is the stuff that has been announced at E3, because the poster's not available yet, supposedly. We weren't even supposed to know that this poster existed yet, because the GameStop employee said it's not coming out till next week, but hey, you can have one, rando person who immediately posted it to Twitter. So what does this poster tell us? It shows us only 4 specific games, one of which we already know is coming out in 2021, and it's coming out pretty soon actually, and that is that is, see, that's a given to me, but we'll get there. That is Skyward Sword HD. Yes, we've all sort of forgotten about that because we're all excited about Breath of the Wild 2 and stuff, but yeah, Skyward Sword HD is coming out gosh darn soon. And that's one of the 4 games shown on this poster. Another of the 4 games shown, which I just accidentally already said, is Wind Waker, specifically Wind Waker HD. And it looks like, yes, they're just going to port that directly from Wii U to Switch, which is confusing because they use the Wii U as a second screen that you could do map stuff on, but they've shown us that that's not essential, that they've been able to port games. I mean, heck, the way that the way that Square Enix was able to make Crystal Chronicles work on the Switch shows that we didn't need that Game Boy Advance after all. Anyways, the point is, back to what I'm talking about. So Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, and also Ocarina of Time. But it looks like specifically it's the art from Ocarina of Time 3D, which my guess is that means they're going to just straight up port Ocarina of Time 3D onto the Switch and probably upscale the resolution, but that there's no major dramatic changes. I don't think we're getting brand new graphics from Ocarina of Time. I think what this just means is that, you know, they're taking whatever Grezzo did with Ocarina of Time 3D and plopping it right onto the Switch and then just upscaling graphics, and that's it. And that is what I think is going to be the E3 announcement. Here's my role playing of how Nintendo Direct at E3 is going to go. They're going to open it immediately with, I can never pronounce his name correctly, but Eiji Aonuma. Anyway, they're going to open with him, and his translator, as he's talking, his translator is going to say something along the lines of, "Thank you so much for your support. Yes, this is Zelda's 35th anniversary. We're very excited." Half a year late, by the way. We're very excited that it's the Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary, but we want to mitigate your expectations right at the outset and say Breath of the Wild 2, not coming out this year. So sorry, please bear with us. Be patient. We're taking our time to make sure it's just right for you guys. And so as a result, it will be coming out next year, but we'll tell you about that a little bit later. But don't be too disappointed, because here's what we will have coming out to celebrate Zelda's 35th anniversary. It's gonna be Wind Waker HD. Well, first of all, you already know about Skyward Sword HD. That's coming out soon. And then, not just that, but Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. Those were porting directly from the Wii U, and here it is on the Switch. Aren't you thankful that you already bought those on the Wii U? And yeah, I will buy them anyway on the Switch. Who am I kidding, right? Who am I kidding? Anyway, and then also what you didn't know was we're going to take the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time and plop that onto the Switch too. And there you go. That's it. Goodbye. And by the way, we will tell you more about Breath of the Wild 2 soon. And then they'll have the rest of the Nintendo Direct, and it will be about all the things that the Mario and Rabbids thing, and goodness only knows what, and the Metroid thing that's probably going to get announced, and then they're going to say, and one more thing, and then Eiji Aonuma, or probably just a trailer, it probably won't even be Eiji Aonuma, a trailer will come on, and then they'll be like, here's the thing that is not called Breath of the Wild 2, here's its new name, and here's a brand new trailer for it, and here's some video to show you all of the crazy stuff that it's going to do that basically to explain why it's taking another year. Like, surely they've come up with crazy brand new ideas. You know, maybe they'll show us how this crazy giant elephant, not elephant, I don't know what the thing is, like how that whole mechanism works. Like, you're probably traveling with this thing from place to place, and you've got to feed it, and all that kind of stuff. And so we'll get a brand new trailer for the thing that we used to call Breath of the Wild 2, but now we'll have an actual title for, and that will be it. And will we be disappointed? I won't be super disappointed. I will be a little of the mind of, so all you're doing for Zelda's 35th is porting games and releasing them on the Switch, and that's basically it. And maybe Breath of the Wild 2, or whatever the name is, might come out before the end of Zelda's 35th, so that would be, if they could put it out like in January or February, March or something like that, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to be holding that for fall of 2022. So I will be a tiny bit disappointed that that's all we're going to get. In my dream world of Zelda 35th goodness, what we would get would be like a Zelda All-Stars disc that had, like, let's say, if they could somehow get A Link to the Past remade in A Link Between Worlds engine with those graphics, then it would be amazing if we could have a disc that's A Link to the Past and Breath of the Wild, what am I talking about? A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds on a disc, Ocarina of Time 3DS and Majora's Mask 3DS on one disc, Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD on one disc, and then my absolute dream would be the Oracle's games remade in the Link's Awakening engine and graphics style. That would just tickle me to no end. I love those games so much, and I don't think many people have played them. This would be the perfect opportunity to really get them out there. They said the exact same thing with Link's Awakening. They were like, this game, not too many people have had a chance to play it, so here's a way for people to play it. A remake. And if they could announce that and say, so sorry, Breath of the Wild 2 is not coming out for another year, but the Oracle's games, though, I would consider that a win. But I don't think it's super likely that we're going to get that. So again, to recap, what I think we're getting at the Nintendo Direct for E3 is, so sorry, Breath of the Wild 2 not coming out for another year, but instead, Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, Ocarina of Time 3DS ported to Switch, and oh, by the way, remember that Skyward Sword HD is coming. So that's what I think is we're gonna get, and that's about it. And do I wish that Breath of the Wild 2 was coming out instead of all that other stuff? Sure, but the important thing to remember, and a lot of people get this mixed up, is just because these other things are being worked on doesn't mean that, let's say that none of these things were being worked on, that Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD were not being ported to the Switch, Ocarina of Time 3DS was not being ported to the Switch. Let's pretend like none of that was happening Breath of the Wild 2 would still be coming out in 2022 because the team working on Breath of the Wild 2 has absolutely nothing to do with the teams working on any of these other projects. Even if we are getting the Oracle's games remade, that would be Grezzo doing that or something. That would have nothing whatsoever to do with the Breath of the Wild 2 team. So it doesn't matter. Breath of the Wild 2 is going to Breath of the Wild 2. Like, the time that it takes to make that has nothing to do with any of the other things. So it's not like you can exchange. You can't say, well, geez, I wish they wouldn't have bothered putting out these other things so that Breath of the Wild 2 could come out sooner. Those are two separate tracks that are running in parallel to each other. They have nothing to do with each other. The only way that they could have anything to do with each other is that release dates go. Nintendo's not gonna want to say, coming out in November is Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. And also Breath of the Wild 2. Like, no, nobody would buy Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. They just want to buy Breath of the Wild 2. So they're going to want to put a good 6 months between those at least. So that's why I think maybe if we're really, really lucky, they might say on E3, Nintendo Direct, and by the way, Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, they're in stores across the nation right now. So go pick them up right now. And then maybe Breath of the Wild 2 could still come out in November, but I think we're going to have to prepare ourselves to be disappointed and say that Breath of the Wild 2 is still in the making, and that the best we're going to get is a brand new trailer and the actual title. We're going to get to know what it's called, and we're going to get to see brand new mechanics in play and find out a little bit about the story, but not much. So that's my prediction, that's the word. Wow, all this writing has drained my head of words. The words are just on the computer screen and not in my head anymore. Anyway, that's it for this video. See you guys for my reaction to whatever the heck Nintendo actually really does announce at E3 Zelda related, and or anything else crazy that really tickles my fancy, but it'll probably just be Zelda stuff. So see you guys then. Bye guys.